Welcome back to part 3 on our rebuild on our 2023 BMW X5 M50i. Super excited about this because in today's video we'll be actually disassembling a lot on this car. The first step will be this hood, but yeah, as you can see, this side is loose, this latch is broken off, but on this side, this one is kind of crunched up and stuck in there and we can't reach it from the bottom, and we also can't pull the latch in the car to release it. So first step will probably be to cut open this hood and cut open the latch. And if we take a look over here, we can see that this side is kind of bent down, and that's the first problem that we're going to run into, is since if we cut open the hood on that side, the hood, as you can see, will be trying to go up, so this will most likely crack the windshield more, which we're trying to not do. So we're probably going to have to open it a little bit, bend this down, and then we're going to unscrew the hood, and then we should have it off. And yeah, let's see. So first I'm gonna mark my location, roughly where I'm gonna cut it. I'm just gonna eyeball it, see where the lock is on the other side, and then mark my location where I'm gonna cut it. So yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy. As you can see, we just got it open. We can see the lock in there that is completely mushed up. And also, if you're ever in this type of case, make sure you don't cut yourself on these sharp corners. Now we're gonna cut out more of the outer shell so we have as much as room possible to go out in there and loosen the lock. So as you just saw, the hood did end up popping up because we had to pull it up, but we also ended up just cutting out the entire inside of the hood because it was a little bit easier because you can't unscrew these bolts. So yeah, we have to go all the way in there, cut out the entire inside, and because we couldn't reach this little part, we just had to pull it up, and the hood kind of ended up hitting the camera, but we finally got it up. And if we look over here, this corner is not hitting the glass, there's still enough space, and we can reach these bolts on this side and also the bolts which are on the other side. So that's what we're going to do next, is remove those 4 bolts, and then we should have the hood off. We also have to remove this line which is for the washer fluid, and also the 2 nozzles which are connected to the hood. Also, a quick reminder, if you're taking parts off of a car, to keep track of everything. If you have nuts like these, always put them back so you can have track of them. And for example, if we have the new hood, if we put it side by side, we can just take everything that's on this hood and put it onto that one. So it's way easier. And always keep your parts till the end, till the build is finished. Don't throw it away right after you took it off. As you can see, we now finally have the hood off. It's a very nice engine bay, besides the fact that it's very dirty. But now you can see way more of the car. And now we're gonna start on taking most of these plastic trims off that are broken. And also the same rule for these clips, we're gonna leave them in there and just put the broken parts by the side, And then when we have the new parts, we know where to put them. Obviously, like these parts, the clips from these are stuck somewhere in here, so when we take this off, we're also just going to put it back to this side, so when we have the new part, we know where they go. So as you just saw, we took off the plastic covers, which were broken across, and we also took the wires off for the hood latches because they are in pretty good condition still and should still work. And a big rule for us also is if it's not broken, we won't take it off unless we need to. So yeah, so we took those off, and now we're gonna take off both headlights. This one's just held in with one screw, we think. Yeah, let's see. So we finally got both headlights out. They're just both screwed in with 2 bolts and just with 1 wire. As you can see here, there's a little red plastic clip which you have to pull back, which is kind of hard to get, but we got that out. So we finally got those 2 out, and now we're gonna take these support bars out. Then we're gonna get the crash bar out. These are just stuck together with their own wires, so take those out. The lower crash bar, and then we'll see if we maybe get the cooler, but we'll go step by step and then we'll see. So since we're now working with more electrics, like down here, taking plugs out, we just want to make sure and go the easy way. So we're gonna take power from the car. So we're gonna go ahead in the trunk and disconnect the battery, so we don't have any other problems. For example, we have 2 undeployed airbags. For example, if there's any reason for them to deploy, we just don't want that to happen. So we're gonna go to the trunk real quick and disconnect it. And here, former problem, our power fuse, which goes here and goes all the way to here. I'd appreciate it a lot if you could take your time real quick to like and subscribe, because this is what helps this channel grow. So as you guys have just seen, we removed both upper and lower crash bar, also the wiring harness which goes across for the entire bumper, and also just a lot of other small plastic pieces which were broken. And as you can see, the oil cooler down here at the end is completely cracked open. This one here is snapped off on the end. And now we're going to remove this radiator frame. There's no actual radiator in this. If we look on the other side, there's one in here, and they just put the frame in here also for the front bumper and just to balance it out on the other side. So we're going to try to remove that. It has a total of 8 bolts, and there's one hidden in the back, so we're probably going to have to remove the wheelhouse liner since it already is broken. So we can take that out, and yeah, let's get started. So we just removed the radiator frame, and one thing that we did notice if we take a look down here is that from this frame up here, which holds the entire fender and everything, that this has a little crack down here, which is an OEM weld, which is a one positive and negative. There's one thing that the negative is that the chassis leg is a little bit bent to the left, and a positive is that this everything should be straight, that it just snapped off, but that's something we'll look into in the future. But now we want to get off this chassis leg, which is broken, which means we have to remove these 2 bolts. And also, if you look up here, we're going to have to remove this entire radiator frame, which holds everything together, because this is, as you can see, also smashed up. So we're going to remove that, the chassis leg, and then after that, we'll look more into the radiators and see if we'll remove those. But yeah, let's get started. These 2 guys are going to need a little bit more force because there's 2 screws on both of these on both sides, so we're going to have to knock them a little bit more over. So we decided that we're gonna try to cut this little piece of metal out, like the entire frame, because there's a lot of tension down here on the chassis leg and we don't wanna damage it even more, so because that is what we're trying to get out. So now we're gonna try to cut this open because the screws are squished behind here, as you can see, like 4 or 5 screws, which are hard to get to. So we're gonna try to cut this open to try to get the screws out and then remove the entire frame so we can get this chassis leg out. So after we just took this little plate cover off, we noticed that this is not one entire frame, that it's actually 2 pieces here. So we just have to remove this one and this screw, and then we should be able to take this corner piece off. So we ran into our next problem, is that our chassis leg is stuck in here because this piece of the chassis leg itself is bent inwards a little bit and is kind of holding back the inner piece of this chassis leg. So we're gonna try to bend this and snap this one off. And then with like a wooden 2x4 or whatever, we're gonna try to knock this a little bit over there, trying to bend it so we can take the inner piece out. We got a lot done today, made a lot of progress. It might not look like it because there's way more pieces missing, but we took a lot of damaged parts off and found some more problems for us. For example, this chassis leg is bent over, which we knew, but it's also twisted with this radiator frame because it's connected to the chassis leg. But this frame should be in good condition. The only thing to the frame is that it's rubbing to the tire here. But besides that, another problem with the chassis leg being twisted and bent is that it's pushing this frame, which holds the entire fender, because that kind of twists the entire fender, which you can see up here is that it kind of tilts down to here, and which is the main reason why this fender is pushed back and overlaps with the door panel. But besides that, looks way better already. And we're also probably going to keep up this kind of beam or whatever. It is damaged, but we're going to keep it because that's kind of the only thing that's keeping the distance from each of these fenders, of these frames for the fender. So we're going to keep that until the end and then swap it out. But besides that, in the next video, we're going to be tackling the radiators and also this front right corner, and probably going to see more damage. But besides that, got a lot done on the front left corner. But yeah, thanks for watching this week's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to stay tuned and keep on watching the rest of the parts of this car because there's way more to come. Make sure to like and subscribe and turn on the post notification. Drive safe and stay tuned.